At this point, the world is better off without us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So should we switch to talking to something that's actually funny and
we,
good?
why not? Why the fuck
Okay.
not?
So just as a spoiler here, I am going to be running for these guys a World of Darkness one shot that we will be recording.
Oh yeah, it's going to be
Definitely.
interesting.
We've had a pretty interesting group of characters already assembled. We have a taxi driver, we have a Rosie the Riveteer, we have a investigative journalist, and then we have my personal favorite so far. I don't even know how to describe this guy.
Just
I really
by his
don't.
own name, Barry.
Barry. That's the only name that was put on the sheet.
Barry.
Barry.
He doesn't even know his last name.
He doesn't even know his last name. Barry, for those of you that need to know, World of Darkness works on a 1 to 5 system usually. So if you have 1 dot in something, that means that you're below average. 2
Well,
is average.
you have some training. Like to give you an idea, a single dot in education, that means you at least have like an associate's degree.
Or at least you graduated high school. You know, like something like that.
Somewhere in between there. So it's like 1 means that you have some training. 2 means you're actually capable of doing it professionally, if at a low level.
3
having
means
no,
that you're
no dots. Having no dots in a skill means you're completely untrained.
You're completely
like,
untrained.
You've
You
never
might be able
really
to do it,
focused on
but
it. Yeah.
yeah, you're not like an expert or even a hobbyist. With attributes, it's if you've got a 1, you are probably lacking in some way or another. So to give you an idea here, this man has an intelligence of 4, so he's a genius.
He is a high level genius.
Wait, the 1.
He has a wits of 1. Wits of 1 means that he barely he's kind of slow on the uptake. He doesn't like change or new things.
Which my character, which is the Rosie the Riveter, she has the same flaw. She's very inflexible with thinking.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's oh Jesus, he's way worse off.
Okay,
yeah,
so
of 3.
he has resolve of 3, so he's very dead set in his ways. He's pretty stubborn.
He's
It's hard to change his mind. I'm getting to this.
He has 1 strength and dexterity.
And 4 in stamina. So
I envision him as
armed, clumsy motherfucker.
I envision him as basically the nutty Eddie Murphy's the nutty professor.
Yeah, he's got a stamina of 4, which to put in perspective, this guy could run for days. He's like fucking Forrest Gump here.
Forrest Gump if he was horribly obese.
Forrest Gump if he was just a weakling. Then to top this all off, he's got a presence of 1.
That's your attitude and personality, the ability to emote and feel.
Well, not really emote and feel. The ability to kind of show other people that you're there, like
he dies in the background.
nobody would notice. Yeah, basically. He's got a manipulation of 1, so he's terrible at lying or convincing people to.
Guess what he does have?
He's got a composure though of 5.
He could survive the Hanoi Hotel and walk back with a smile
This is a
on
man
his face.
that, despite being functionally retarded and emotionally non-existent, can
Unfucking
survive
breakable.
the worst tortures given by man. He has a willpower total of 8. Like that's the equivalent of having of basically being able to look at like some of the most horrific things possible and being like, just do another Tuesday.
To give you an idea, World of Darkness characters, they're a specialization, but you usually spread your points out a bit.
Yeah, you usually do.
A little bit. Like, maybe knock down the stamina by 1 to put it in, like, strength or dex. Composure down by 1 to get maybe some manipulation or presence. A little bit. Actually, the mental attributes are about right, because people are kind of weirded that way. But then we get to the skills, which, oh my god, I love this.
Oh my god. So originally, it was 5 in science, 5 in crafts, 1 in medicine, 4 in weaponry, 5 in intimidation, and 2 in socialize. So let's go from the top here. Let's start with the mental ones. So science and crafts are both related to things that you kind of expect. Crafts is how good are you with like building things. With 5, you are Tony Stark. You can build an Iron Man suit in a cave with a box of crafts.
I'm dying right now.
You are Iron Man. With 5 in both of those,
you can build and repair anything.
You could build and repair anything. You can make a miniature
to give you an
reactor.
idea, my character, I'm using her as an example. She's not really mentally strong, but she's good with her hands. At a 2, she would be considered good enough to be a car repairman or work heavily with wood as her specialty. A 5,
Now,
this
a
guy
5
can make
This,
me
Sign
this
him,
guy
sign
is a
paper.
professor. This guy is a fucking Stephen Hawking. Uh,
Oh yeah,
Don't
for science,
don't
yeah.
forget- fucking
don't forget his
crazy
notable thing. 3 in medicine.
though that's when he changed it.
Yeah, he had a 1 originally.
He had a 1 originally in medicine, which
Yeah,
basically meant he knows CPR. You know,
CPR and basic first
pretty
aid.
modest. Pretty modest.
5 in science, to give you an
5
idea.
in science.
4 is where you consider top of the line and you're researching the most advanced shit. 5
4
is
is like-
I've invented a new branch of science.
5 is I'm a Nobel Prize winner. 4 is I'm probably going to be cited in a Nobel Prize winning paper. Like 4 is I'm at the top of my field. I might not be the best, but I'm in the top, 10%.
We're talking super scientist for his mental,
So then he
but
has
nothing else.
So then for his social,
He never graduated high school. He doesn't know how computers
He doesn't know
work.
how to study. He can't write a paper. He barely understands computers. He doesn't know
It just
politics.
clicks. It just clicks for him.
Well, politics and the occult having no ranks is okay, but
Yeah.
no academic background at all.
Or investigation.
Like, how did he learn all this? He has no academics. Well, who taught him how to be this magical scientist?
Maybe he's like Colonel Sanders and he has like a 7th grade education.
I know how he's actually genuinely autistic and he just understands machines.
No,
Like,
wait.
that would be a,
No.
okay, but let's keep going because
It gets better.
so, it gets better. So the science part of it that's crazy. Now let's get to the social skills, the original social skills. A 5 in intimidate means that this man will make you shit yourself if he stares at you. His autism
yeah.
has such a physical presence, despite him having no presence whatsoever, that he can scare the pants off of you.
He's like one of those creepypastas where no one notices him in the room, but if someone somehow does see him, they just fall
They
dead of heart
scream.
attacks.
They just have a heart attack. Yeah, his stand is autism essentially. He's a JoJo character. I swear to God. He hasn't even chosen merits yet, by the way, so this can get even weirder.
It could get even better, you mean?
Yeah, so the 2 in socialize means that he can be with a 1 in presence and a 1 in manipulation. He can go to someone and be like, "Yes, hello, fellow human being. I am human being. We make talk. That is good. Have you seen weather pattern today?
Oh, terrible.
So terrible."
The fact he even has 1 rank in it is impressive.
That he's at 2, where he's essentially able to blend in comfortably into pretty much any social situation.
Somehow.
Somehow.
I think it's more if he just falls into the background and occasionally laughs when everyone else laughs.
They're like, who brought this guy? He's the life of the party, despite having no.
Maybe he
I'm
entertains
sorry.
them with his 4 dots of
He
weaponry.
can Okay, to give you a description, 2 dots, professional. At this level of socialized, the character can gracefully blend into just about any social situation. just imagining this man going into a funeral that he has no idea about. And being like, "Yes, sorry for your loss, human being. Everyone died." So sad.
It's so fucking great.
But now we have to talk about his revive skills.
Okay,
I love
no.
his 4 dots of weaponry. To give you an idea, that is
That's-
sword master level.
At 4 dots of weaponry, this is a man that could comfortably make a living teaching the way of the blade.
He had more than 1 strength and dexterity.
This is a clumsy, he's slow. Clumsy, weak, and slow. Yet he is one of the best sword masters the world has ever seen.
he's a fat black.
He could kill you in 50 different ways.
Which is
He can kill you in
why
50
I
different ways
believe,
you can't
honestly, Barry is a fucking
Barry?
serial killer.
That's the thing. So it gets even better. So his revised skills makes you think, oh, he's a serial killer for sure.
It's even better.
So his
It's even
revised
better.
skills, he took Only 4 in crafts chemistry.
That only means that he probably worked with Lockheed Martin to make his weapons of mass destruction before the accident.
No, he was a bomb builder. He built bombs.
He
He
built
was a fucking
bombs.
Ted Kaczynski. He just self-taught himself how to make bombs.
He still has no academic.
has
7th
a
grade
3.
education brought on by U.S. military to make mother of all bombs.
He was taught in a cave in Afghanistan or some shit. Like,
Wait.
God.
Alright, he may have-
He's got a 3 in medicine, so he's
on par with a
essentially-
surgeon.
He's a surgeon. He could walk into a hospital, and if they were holding open tryouts, he'd probably get a job.
I'm just now envisioning Barry just mechanically walking into a hospital looking for the
Hello, yes,
ideal
is this
body.
place where I get to cut up people and not be punished?
Do not worry,
He's still
human.
like-
I will make you better. I will go
Oh,
inside.
I know
and
what the weaponry
fix
is. Oh my!
meat
I realized what
parts.
the 4 weaponry is. I just realized what the 4 weaponry is. Even with his terrible, even if he's really terrible with weapons, he's really good with knives and incisions.
Oh no!
There's a reason I honestly think that this guy could be a demiurge who made like a wretched.
This guy is amazing. I love you, the guy that created this. We are not mad at you. We are not.
No, we're not laughing. We're laughing.
And
We're
the
laughing
character
at
is
this wonderful. This is probably one of
This
the
is
most
perfect.
amazing characters that
This
I've
is
probably seen in a game
And
period.
don't forget his revised socials.
He's revised social skills, so he has an intimidative 3, which reduces his dice pool for intimidation down to a reasonable, 4 dice. But it's still like why he has
Dropped
1
his
dot.
socialized. He dropped his socialized to 1 and bumped his streetwise to 3.
So this is where we go. He's a serial killer because with the streetwise of 3, you know where to dump the bodies. Okay, you know who to contact with. Yes, hello. I have organ to sell.
And the socialized is just enough so that when he get questions by the police, he knows the lines to say.
There's a
No,
reason.
officer. She never met here.
There's a reason why
Very pretty though.
I describe him as the combination of Ted Kaczynski and Ed Gein.
Yeah, like he's like, hello, yes, officer. Woman, very pretty. She'd go missing. I know. It's very sad. Face good. Would make good mask. Ha ha ha. Funny joke. Yes. Ha ha ha.
Hey Ted.
I'm gonna die.
Hey Ted. What's that you dragging in? A body. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's fucking.
Because he's
great,
got a
man.
composure of 5 still, so he's going to be like totally deadpan when he says this. There's no way he will ever say anything that he won't be emotional about it at all. He's just, yes, it is a body.
Oh, that Barry.
It's
Such
like-
a right.
Oh, Barry. Of course it's not a body, Barry. We're just joking with you. No, it totally is a body. Haha. You know those 5 missing girls? They're my base. Ha 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 ha. And then they stare into his
We are
eyes. He's got that
friends.
intimidation of 3, and it's just like they're like, maybe he could, but
I've killed 6 girls today. Want to be my 7th? Oh,
ha ha
Barry.
ha ha. Your face would look very good as my shirt.
It's my shirt. I honestly, the idea for this campaign is it's a Mortals game where at the end we pick where they go, who they do. I just see Barry as a slasher.
Barry fits perfectly into several slasher archetypes, and honestly, this is a bit of a mini World of Darkness review now, but slasher is a book about essentially movie serial killers. Like, you want to have a game where you get Jason Voorhees around and he kills some teenagers.
You know, where they basically slashers they're based on your archetype. So you got your indomitable, like unkillable monster like Jason, Mr. Stocky Man, Michael Myers, who also has some bullshit powers. Teleport behind you.
Yep. You got the banjo playing hillbilly slashers.
You got Pumpkinhead.
And then you've got the classic Mr. I'm going, hey baby, let's get my, and then knocks you on the head.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
you
you
also
got your
have
Ted-
your Ted Bundys.
You got your Ted Bundys, your Jeffrey Dahmers, and you've also got your my personal
Is that how
favorite
you
movie.
made
You got your Hannibal Lecters.
Hannibal
No,
Lecters.
no,
I'm trying to remember. Why am I
trilogy.
Norman Bates? You also have your Norman Bates.
And, I was actually going to go with
Your
that
John
guy who
Does.
actually made the literal Hell Hotel. You know, the Hell Hotel.
Oh yeah, H.H. Holmes. Actually, that was in Chicago.
Oh my
yeah.
god!
You didn't know?
Uh,
It was during the World Fair.
I knew, but I forgot.
No, I'm actually.
Yeah, it was
I've
the
ac-
World Fair of
it's-
Chicago. They kept it going for way too long.
Excuse me, can I talk?
Yeah, sorry, Randall.
Yeah, I'm actually reading through Devil in the White City.
Oh,
H.H.
nice.
Holmes and the World's Fair. Yeah, it's actually really interesting.
Yeah, my favorite part is what he did with the bodies afterwards.
Wait a minute. Does this mean that Barry? Wait a minute. Barry could have a guy. He could have the Geist of the Killer from the World's Fair. That's why he's so buzzed.
You could have somebody. Oh my
This
God,
guy
he could
fits
become
in
a-
so well because he's already leaving the world of normality.
Barry the Sin Eater would be
What
terrifying.
is that?
Barry the Sin Eater would be the most terrifying thing I could ever imagine. Hello, yes, I speak to dead people. Ha ha ha.
Some of them my previous
Hey, are you
victims.
running?
Yes.
Why are you running?
I'm back.
Why are you backing away slowly? I am being nice and telling you in a very conversational tone. I talk to dead people on a regular basis, including the people in my basement.
They're not happy that they're stuck there.
And he didn't actually kill anybody. It's just that there was like a mass murder there like 2 decades ago or some shit.
Or maybe he added some extra victims
He
down
might,
there.
or he had a couple of extras. Let's be fair. But yeah, H.H. Holmes. What he did with the bodies after is the most fascinating thing.
Acid. But lots of acid.
Acid, and he actually sold the skeletons.
To
Yeah,
like schools and
university,
shit.
right?
Yes, to universities. This was very common back in the day. Like Hare and Burke.
Oh, those assholes, yeah.
Yeah, they killed people and they sold their
I
bodies
know it was
for
a
dissection.
profession. It was like such a profession back in Victorian London that like they had to put like grave watchmen outside graveyards so that people would fucking rob the bodies.
Yeah, med students would regularly steal bodies.
It's just poor people who would. I remember this one case in particular where these two grave robbers got the bright idea that the graveyards are getting too guarded, so let's just kill people and sell it.
That was Burke and Hare.
That was
Burke
Burke
and
and Hare,
Hare.
yep.
Burke the Butcher, and Hare the Thief.
The main thing though is that they also would put like cages over the graves. Like I'm dead serious here. They
Because it would take effort to dig out around from it.
Literally, nobody gets my fucking body. Don't dig me up, you assholes.
Don't
Yeah.
throw me in
Another
a
thing I used to kinda comment-
jug of
another thing
acid and melt my flesh off so you can
So,
sell me to
my
a
question is-
college.
My question is, why in the blood living fuck would we try to even team up with someone with the likes of Barry? What brings us to?
Barry is the homeless man that lives with the guy that's house is going to burn down and starts this entire adventure.
I'm actually thinking more like he's like the janitor on site to a college where he shouldn't be allowed legally there because god damn it, those are chemicals, Barry. Barry, what are you doing? No.
I am only creating VX nerve gas. Very, very fun.
I just realized, since I'm the designated driver of the group, I just realized my character's going to be pissing himself every time Barry gets in the car.
Barry's going to get in the back of your taxi every fucking session.
Oh no! Here's what happens.
Barry lives in the back of your fucking
Barry
taxi.
Here's fun.
Does this mean that you're Native American taxi driver every time Barry comes? That's when the
The
That's when
flashbacks
you're-
to the bad times happen.
It gets,
Not always
this
hats,
is
but
the
you are
thing,
fun.
viewers. Each of our characters were also randomly generated. This
Oh,
was
yeah,
the product.
My bad. I got Native American taxi driver. Adam got white beef beefcake.
She's
my God.
6'8". Yeah, she's an Amazon.
She's a fucking Amazon, yeah.
My guy is actually an average white guy who is an investigative reporter.
Oh god,
and
you're
Randall
investigating
has-
Barry's murders.
We also have got a Latin Kings member somewhere.
Yeah. I don't know how long he'll last. I think Barry might kill him.
It'd be funny.
That's Barry's preferred hunting, Less hair on the bodies, just like Dahmer. Speaking of Dahmer, he's in Milwaukee. We just blew up Milwaukee. Yeah.
What?
In the Sigmata session, with Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Jeffrey Dahmer is from Milwaukee. Forgot about that. The second best thing to come out of Milwaukee after
Oh my God.
Jeffrey Dahmer, folks.
The whole story of Dahmer is just an amazing display of police incompetence.
It's police incompetence combined with how did this man not get caught?
Like, okay, you got a 13-year-old boy.
You got a
bleeding from the
15-year-old
asshole
Filipino
and
boy
screaming.
that's
Let's
naked.
just give him back. And is that rotting flesh in there? I smell.
You gotta throw out your hamburger steaks.
It gets better. Okay, so the one that you're talking about, Dahmer had already drilled into the guy's head, and there was blood everywhere. He's naked. He's running around dazed and confused because the drugs have started to wear off. And they give him back to Dahmer in this situation. Those cops caused the deaths of at least another 4 people.
There's a reason why they needed videos to teach them how to avoid edged weapons. Like, no, they need them.
You got.
They're the type of people.
Is that a pokey thingy?
They grab it by the fucking hill. They grab it by the fucking blade, and they're like, "Ow, the red water's coming out."
Oh no, that's a big hurt thing now.
Well, actually, since they're from Milwaukee, it's like, oh, I can't do the Milwaukee accent. I can't do it.
Oh, what you got there? Oh, it's just a big pokey thingy. Ow, oh man. Oh, no, that's not nice now. Just fuck. Yeah, that's kind of what Slashers is about. Honestly, because we don't review good books on this podcast, we probably will never, ever touch some of this. But be warned, there will be some World of Darkness popping up.
Eventually,
I'm looking at you, Beast.
Beast the Primordial.
Oh, and
Beast the Primordial.
What was that? Breeds?
Changing breeds, and probably also Dirty Secrets of the Black Hand, which is just a classic Gonzo book that honestly just
deserves to die.
I mean,
it doesn't deserve to die. It's wonderfully 90s.
It's not only wonderfully 90s, but for those of you who actually know the lore, it proceeds to violate it, much like Jeffrey Dahmer violated the craniums of the people that he kept.
Oh no, he didn't do that. He just sucked their dead, cut off dicks and stuff. Actually, he painted them white for some fucking reason.
I'm fucking Jeffrey Dahmer.
And
I'm drunk as shit during all of this.
He was fucking drunk during all of it too. Which is just the most impressive part about this is that somehow Dahmer.
Anyway, we've talked enough about. Let's get
off of Dahmer. So back to Barry.
The story we came up with is that he was once a brilliant bomb maker, maybe a bit weird, but one day he made a mistake, a massive mistake.
Basically, Phineas Gage, the man who had a railroad spike shoved through his head?
Yeah.
Barry had his Phineas Gage day. And
a bomb went off and shrapnel probably went into part of his head. He survived. But
I just realized we made a fucking Silver Age supervillain.
We did.
Actually, that's kind of what I was thinking the whole time, but I didn't want to interrupt. The first.
Like a Silver Age supervillain is pretty top.
Yeah, this is like your Dr. Otto Octavius and like when he became Dr. Octopus. Same.
No, this is more Mysterio. Let's be fair.
True.
Honestly, my character might be trying to investigate the Barry murders because
bodies.
We survived the vampire only. We survived the vampire only for Barry to Allahu Akbar us.
My investigation, I have 4 pips in investigation, so at this level of investigation, abilities that seem almost supernatural. She can see the connections between details that seem completely separate, making amazing intuitive deletes, and can easily see patterns in the massive amounts of data. So I may be looking at Barry with a lot of revulsion.
And for those of you watching, I'm actually showing the contrast between the two characters just so you can see. It's still kind of lopsided, but you notice that much more of it is balanced out because, I mean, it's a social game. You kind of need skills to balance out so you're normal. But Barry isn't, and that's what makes him beautiful.
Barry is, unironically, one of my favorite creations I've ever seen a player. Yes. And he's a new player too, so we're not gonna. I don't want to say that this is a bad sheet.
No.
Oh no, it's amazing.
It's really not. It's for a first attempt where you're not quite sure of what the levels and scales mean,
or even how the system works. To give you an idea, the guy who made Barry He only ever played he played some Pathfinder and that's it.
Yeah.
Oh, and don't forget D&D.
He played one session of D&D.
So with Barry, though, we could add some merits to him to make him even more interesting.
I.e., more of a serial killer, because I
We
think
could have
even
a serial-
after, if we don't use him, he may become a regular slasher.
I want to use Barry in some game. Please put Barry in your games, because Barry is a wonderful guy who just wants love and to also put your face on his coat.
Can we give Barry status in something?
Yes, status watched by police. No, Barry could actually be part of a mystery cult. I'm thinking about it. I'm like, this guy could be a master cultist for the God Machine.
Without even knowing.
No, something better. Oh no, something better. Prometheans.
I
Barry could
honestly
also
would
be
make him a
Prometheus.
demiurge. I would have made him a demiurge.
Well, he could be, or he could be a Promethean after they've completed the pilgrimage.
When they get a low enough, what was it, pilgrimage score? No,
No,
path
like
score.
after, like he's completed it. He became human. Unfortunately, still didn't quite get it 100%. Let's just say
He did not learn all of the lessons on the path.
he learned enough to get to human, and he's just like, yes, this is good. Hello, yes, fellow human.
Well, remember, if you're low enough, you don't even remember. So it's more like he wakes up going, I am me. I am Barry.
I am Barry. Barry what? Just Barry.
He doesn't even have a fucking last name.
What?
He's been in a terrible accident, probably. Too.
Wait, I have it. His last name is Henderson. He's old man Henderson's adopted son.
Barry
It's old man Henderson's cousin. Let's be fair. Come on.
So he's also Scottish.
Yeah. Why
So
not?
he's black. Wait, is he the demo man? He's the
Black Scott.
He's
Oh my god, you're right.
He's the fucking demo man.
He's the Fortress 2 demo man. I got it.
If he went to pot and became autistic.
Jesus Christ. So let's make Barry a little more. I don't know what you call him. I guess
He's
Just
just
say dwarf.
of a person. I mean, he's already a perfect person. Just Barry doesn't need any merits. He doesn't need any
He helps
backstory.
complete the rainbow because he's autistic.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, that's another thing. Because of our random generations, we created the ultimate diversity team.
The only thing we're missing is an Asian.
That's it.
And Randall said he's planning on making his character a midget.
An Asian Dale
might.
Gribble, maybe.
Oh, wait a minute. I know what we can give Barry. Let's give Barry Indomitable.
Oh my god, you're right. His brain is so fucked.
Indomitable.
Vampire attempts to mesmerize him.
Oh, hello, pretty
Vampires
eyes.
are
Now your
alive.
face mine.
Now your face mine.
No! No!
Just can you imagine just the poor fucking vampire that tries to drink from good old homeless Barry?
Also, I think something he has to have is improvised weaponry.
Yeah.
Oh,
All those
actually, I love the idea that if a vampire bites him, you know how the Ventrue bloodline Malkavians, because that's Melkis, if they drink from him, they either do a Ventrue frenzy because not good enough, or the insanity just pops out because that's in their fucking bloodline.
Actually,
Yeah.
do you think this guy actually might have like one of the do you think he might be cursed?
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
he
I
could have
know.
cursed, yeah.
No, let's give him.
Better,
Let's give,
he has mind of the madman.
Oh my god.
That's
He needs
perfect.
empathy 3 for that though. He has 0 empathy.
Poop.
no, wait. Here, let's give Barry Hardy as well as along with Indomitable as well. So let's make him the toughest son of a bit. There's nothing bringing down this.
I'm
This
just
sociopath.
envisioning him getting shredded by a werewolf. It's like, why aren't you dying? I don't have time to die.
Oh, wait, what a
Coat mine now.
No, wait, he needs.
Coat mine now. Skins werewolf, wears it as a
Skins
coat.
werewolf wears it as a coat. Barry's just he'd be terrifying if he wasn't Barry. Because he's Barry. It's just like
I hope Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 has him as a minor character.
I'm Barry.
I am Barry. Do you want to come in my van
Wait a
now?
minute. I know what we
van
can
where-
do.
The van where he has no drive, so he's just fucking going at 80 in a 20-mile zone.
Let's give. Okay,
He does not. Oh my god, because he doesn't have any checks. His friend doesn't have brakes. He crashes.
here's what we can give Barry as well. We can give Barry Iron Will. Let's make Barry just.
He's indomitable.
Let's make,
He's got Iron Will, which just why not? Why the fuck not? We could give him. Okay, so he's obviously got Indomitable. We could give him Giant just because.
Oh God!
Yeah, he has,
No, no,
he has like terrible
the better
strength.
one.
Sorry, he has
Shut-
terrible
shut up.
strength.
shut up. Let's give him Sympathetic.
That would explain everything. Barry, why haven't you been arrested for the 10 bodies in your basement? I talked to cops, and cops like me. I make funny joke about girl who go missing. Ha ha ha! She screamed very loud. Ha ha ha! Just fuck. Like that could work. There's actually a merit for that in Slasher.
Oh my God!
What's it called again? Morbid curiosity or morbid
It
fascination?
was morbid fascination, I think.
Yeah, it's
Like by comparison, I'm just showing off a couple of the completed characters that like that I've and others have made, and you can kind of see there is a bit of a difference when constructing characters.
I forget, what did he put his vice as? Pride?
Pride, I think.
Oh wait,
Barry's
wait,
very
wait a
proud
minute.
of being a serial killer.
Wait, can we? No, wait. Can we give him?
He takes a lot of pride in carving people like fucking turkeys.
Can we give him, instead of giving him one of those things, Sympathetic? Can we give him some proficiency in light weapons? Let's make him.
Oh, like I said, improvised weaponry, because the first one is always armed. Always got
Oh
something
my
on me.
god.
I've always got something on me.
I love the prudence, by the way. That's his quality.
Yes, he's a very determined serial killer. He knows what's still missing. It'll be fine.
Listen, this is the actual description for always armed. Your character can always get his hands on something dangerous, and he has an instinctive understanding of how to put it to good and deadly use. Doesn't that just sound like something a serial killer would have?
Does.
I love the pride, though. The taking pride in mutilating humans.
This is not what this guy was intended for at all. I want to add.
That's the best part. Barry's creation was
we want a chemistry. I want to
accidental.
make a chemistry teacher.
A chemistry
I know.
teacher.
I know. I should have a very high science and a very high this. Oh, and I need weaponry because this is a role playing game. So I should be able to
He's
defend
used
myself.
to D&Ds and Pathfinder,
Yeah.
so he expects combat pretty often. Like the logic, if you go in from a heavy roll as in dice playing to roll as in acting, you can see why Barry's creation was a thing.
Like I said, there is a logic. This wasn't slapdash and haphazard. There was a logic. There is a sound logic at this. It's just when it's translated to World of Darkness, it becomes something truly special.
It gets better. So Barry actually qualifies for the merit Telltale Murder because he has an intelligence of 4 and his revised stats actually gives him a medicine of 3. So he fits it. He can know. So with the 2-dot version of this merit, you know how to disguise a murder as a suicide, or use the means by which your victims die to taunt your attackers.
So it's like it's very unfortunate that poor girl was found in the dockyards.
Yes. It is almost like I am on a. It's almost like you are adrift without a.
Oh, she died an hour ago. If you were faster, maybe she would have lived.
Yeah. You could also.
It's a shame you never taught her how to swim.
With the 3-dot version, you can send a message that isn't true, which is just kind of.
Fucking with you. It's really he's fucking with you.
Yeah, you can use it to fuck with people. There's also Hands of a Killer, but he doesn't qualify for it, which is kind of sad. Oh, wait, no, he can qualify for Weaponry Monomaniac. Yay! This is one of the most broken merits in the game.
you have to love that that our new guy managed to create a character that merits this.
So, Weaponry Monomaniac does require a specialty, but he hasn't finished those yet, so he could say specialty, fucking big axes or whatever. And it gives them an 8 again on whatever the weapon is, whenever they use it.
For those
No,
curious,
no,
8
not
again.
the weapon, scalpel.
8
Yeah,
again,
scalpel.
the way it works is, I'm just going to explain. When it says number again, the World of Darkness operates on dice pulls, and they also have what's called exploding dice if you get a critical. 8 and 9 again means that 9s and 8s counts for exploding dice rolls. This is why, in one of my first ever campaigns, I had a man explode into giblets because a wrestling move accidentally got 20 successes.
Oh my god.
Fuck, my dude. Jesus.
Like I said, the two people that played the Bruja battle bitches, they maxed out their physical stats by that point.
Yeah. So, Weapon Monomaniac essentially gives 8 again to any weapon you want, which can be a sniper rifle, for example.
8 again. I just blew his brains out from 1,000 yards away. I will make sure that he does not survive.
Yeah. Barry, where'd you get that hand grenade? I do not know.
I made it. No, I made it.
Oh shit, you're right. I made it.
It's a tin can. It's basically a tin can filled with like nails and all sorts of other.
No, that's too crude for Barry. Barry legitimately just made a fucking pineapple
Actual
grenade.
pineapple grenade. Barry's got a 5 in crafts sometimes.
Sometimes. I like the idea that his character sheet mutates so he's like the fucking Joker. He doesn't remember his backstory.
His skills just move around occasionally, depending on like the fragments in his brain, just kind of
I
shifting.
just love how this party so far is going to turn out into a taxi driver, a brawling construction worker, a gangster, a crazy conspiracy theorist, a hard hitting reporter, and the serial killer.
Did we just make the newest script to Quentin Tarantino's movie?
We might have just done that. I mean, it's also set in Chicago. There's going to be like spooky, supernatural shit.
Question is, who is the actor we get? Who is a overweight black actor we could get to play Barry?
No, just put Idris Elba as Barry. He doesn't have to be overweight.
Oh my god!
Just put Idris Elba in a fat suit.
He doesn't have to be fat. He can just be like greedy and really malnourished.
True.
Yeah.
I just envision him as fat because it's funnier to imagine this obese guy continue moving like the Terminator.
I know who we should put in. One of the Wayans brothers.
Oh my god!
Can you imagine that?
I also,
So what you're saying is instead of it being a Tarantino flick, it's a Rian Johnson flick that is
No.
subverting our expectations.
Do you know what the thing is? I just realized another thing we made. Barry is Black Hush.
Fuck!
God damn it! You
He's a surgeon who fucked up his face royally and is now using his skills as a way to murder and get what he wants.
I'm fixing myself.
Oh my god, Barry, why do you have 12 bodies in the basement? I take the prettiest parts from my new face.
So I'm just imagining this. Well, everyone looks kind of normal. His face is just a patchwork of bandages wrapped up so where you can't see anything except his two mismatched eyes.
I'm envisioning the lineup and it's great. It's great. You have.
Fucking Christ! Just. Oh my god. Barry is wonderful, and as you can tell, we love Barry a lot more than Stigmata.
We've talked about Barry way longer, and it's great.
I'm glad. I think we've talked about him way longer than we ever played Sigmata.
Well, but the thing is, Barry is so amazing that everything about him is just a mark.
Actually, would you say he's the linchpin of this campaign?
At this point, yes. At this point, Barry, I think I could write an entire story about Barry.
Yeah,
like an actual novel.
The way I'm seeing it in my head is the main character, one of the main characters, like it would be written from the point of view of all of us at one point. Kind of like how Game of Thrones does that, where it jumps. Oh, not Game of Thrones. A Song of Ice and Fire.
Multiple perspectives. Yeah.
Thank you. I had a brain moment. So, like, your main guy would be the detective, Mr. North, who's looking through the missing, like, 12 girls, maybe. Then you have side stories from a taxi driver who has to deal with the serial killer, a gangbanger who may have encountered him at one point, and stalking victim.
'Cause
your
he's
your
like, you-
arms have succulent muscles.
Your arm muscles, they would be tasty.
I want to add your strength.
In best part, it all comes together. It all comes together where we all come meet, and then the building blows up right behind us.
Yeah, because
something like
the
that.
serial killer is not the knife guy. He's literally the Unabomber, so it's a different style than what your murder novels would usually be.
He's a domestic terrorist.
He really is. With his stat line, he is. He is Ted Kaczynski.
Also, oh my god, I just realized something. What if I think America should take his safe house?
Oh my god.
I think he should.
He should. Just a
This
little
is John
shack out
Doe
next to
apartment.
Lake Michigan.
I go to my shack.
He should put at least two, so it's like a gym, like a dark dingy basement at the bottom of the abandoned hotel.
Or something like that, yeah.
Like I'm seeing it, and
No,
every
no, shut up.
character is divided, but this one crazy asshole is the entry point to this world of darkness.
Okay, I know what it is. His safe house. He's a janitor. He has a small little room underneath the university where they give him room and board.
Oh my god.
I'm thinking more along the lines of like the rape dungeon in Seven,
I was thinking
like carved
that.
into the dirt and reinforced.
So I was thinking with that, with what you just suggested there, Al, that he makes jokes about them never leaving the university, his victims. No, they're still here.
Actually, no, this is better. No, this is better because remember, Randall's also a high school teacher, so he this crazy conspiracy theorist thinks that this is all about the work of either vampires, werewolves, aliens. But he doesn't notice. But all this time, he doesn't notice. He's blatantly ignoring the fact that the janitor is obviously dragging bodies.
He's dragging bodies past his
Like
office.
he sees the he sees
twitching
Barry
body
with
in
like
front
a
of
can I talk?
Sorry.
Like dragging big massive black trash bags. They're kind of leaking fluid. Like an arm flops out. It's like, I'm putting away bodies. Oh, those are just the Halloween decorations. All right, see you later, Barry.
Because the way I'm seeing it, every character they could eventually run into each other, but our newbie accidentally found the way for us to be forced to work together.
Yes. Well, like I said, my character is an investigative reporter, so he's probably he's ambitious. So if he goes to solve these murders, this could actually go to put him well on the path of true success. This could be the biggest break of his life.
And since my character is a lazy slacker, maybe this will finally be the motivation to fucking do something with his life.
And I'm
Oh,
staying
I
in the
know.
college where Barry works at, so
Oh, I know. Maybe one of your family members may have been targeted by Barry.
I might have to throw out my entire plans in the next session, take Barry, and make Barry the thing that you're going to have to deal with.
well, the problem is that's a person's
It's a little too
character.
much for a new player.
Yeah.
No, not like we'd have
Maybe
nuclear-
the intro before the weird shit happens.
This is the setup. This is the setup, and then what people who were once formerly aligned against each other are forced to work together when forces beyond even our comprehension are forced do this shit.
But yes, the plan with the game is that after the one-shot session is over, we will take a bit of a poll and see which splat people prefer, and then create characters for that. Or simply update the ones that we've already made.
And
To be
so
honest,
whatever.
this is all being really fun. So,
Could we? But imagine Barry is aware of being as well.
Barry as the werewolf would be kind of wimpy, but at the same time absolutely freaking terrifying, because he could just death rage at will.
Not just that, but like I kill ghosts. What? I kill ghosts.
Or if we go hunter, he actually evolves into a slasher.
Yeah.
I sold my soul to a demon. What? Yeah.
Yeah, haha. He gave me $5. Ha ha ha.
Joke's on him. I don't have a soul.
Joke's on him. I put the soul in box.
He does. But when the demon tries to do things to it, the soul infects him instead.
The demon just looks at the soul and just goes, nah. Just closes the box again. Pushes it back across the table.
The demon gets infected, and it becomes like demon plague that turns people into clones of Barry.
The mimetic berry plague would be absolutely terrifying.
So
Just-
did we just accidentally discover how Gehenna happens? Wait, is Barry the eldest?
Oh my god! I just thought of something. I just realized what the worst thing of all the one that actually fits well. Barry is a changeling.
Oh my god.
He's the replacement.
I was abducted
replacement.
by weirdos.
He's a replacement. He's one of the replacements.
Barry's a fetch.
I could see that.
I 100% would believe that.
The guy who was in charge of making the replacement for Barry, who in reality was, the smart, promising young student, but nope, he fucked up and he fucked up and snipped a few wires they shouldn't have when he made this thing.
Yeah.
Okay, no. Barry serving a mummy would also be great.
Barry as a mummy cultist would be. I don't even know how to handle something like that. And imagining an entire group of berries, like people like Barry, it's kind of scary. Like
we blow up buildings for peace.
For our master, we killed him. Master then gives us cookies and tells us we are good boys.
Unironically, I think in
sounding more like a Call of Cthulhu game.
Guys,
Honestly, we accidentally made a Call of Cthulhu plotline.
Honestly, guys, I think in Greyhawk 1947, I may have a Barry-esque character. You may have to solve a case.
We have to work for Barry.
You have to solve the Barry. You have to solve a Barry-esque case.
Okay, imagining Barry as a character that has some actual authority and power is kind of amazing. Because Prince Barry of the city.
Prince Barry.
Because he's smart enough. He's certainly scary enough.
Oh, so no,
He can't beat anyone. I just realized another rival, like let's say another faction prince runs in, and he's like, "Why the hell are we gonna have to take orders from you?" But then, as he's intimidating, there's a few booms sounding, and then the guy looks outside and sees his entire faction has been decimated by bombs.
Your entire family just died horribly.
I would actually not make him a prince. I would make him like the top level guy. And oh fuck, the Ordo Dracul.
Oh no.
No, he's the equivalent of the sheriff to the actual prince.
He's just the hound. He's just the hound. Oh no.
And also lead researcher in that city's branch of the Ordo Dracul.
That is actually terrifying. Imagining Barry the Hound, just this happy little autistic man following you and being like, "Yeah, you killed those girls. I killed those girls too. You're going to die now."
I will use your body for a ritual to bring back a slithering monster from the other side.
Barry as a mage would also be great.
Barry as a mage would just be a Tremere. Just no question. He'd just be a lich. He'd just be like, yes, those girls, they went missing. I ate their souls. They were yummy.
Oh god, Barry as a Geist.
I need to stop eating souls. The voices in my head are getting too loud.
It's worse. It's worse. He got a serial killer's soul, but the thing is, the serial killer soul, he doesn't actually like tell him what to do. Barry asks for advice.
I'm thinking more along the lines of the person, like it's a serial killer. The serial killer soul is like, oh, wow.
Oh no.
Do I even want to come back?
I killed dozens, but I killed dozens over a span of decades.
Barry, how many did you kill this week? Oh, only a half a dozen.
I taunted the FBI.
I put 2 of them in the park. I was done with them.
Neither had their hands.
I have new hands now. Check them out.
Just wiggles his fingers. Just.
If he becomes a serial killer based on that, like a slasher, I think his like alias should be like the Patchwork Man.
That's actually the Patchwork Man is a terrifying idea.
The Patchwork Bomber.
Patchwork Bomber is also pretty good.
Well, no, wait. What happens is that he after the
he puts bombs in the corpses.
So oh my god! I just also realized something. He just took Chemist, but Chemist could also be Poisoner.
Oh yeah. Like he could be a Harold Shipman if he wanted to.
Oh my god! I just realized something terrible. Because he's a medicine.
Yeah, he could totally
theoretically-
pull a Harold Chipman if he wanted to.
I was going to say is that because of if he takes that one thing that allows him to work one-on-one, he could theoretically, because of his high knowledge in science and medicine, he could theoretically get fool people into believing he worked for a medical company, walk in there and taint all the medicine sources.
I'm going to get the high score. The high score in what? Killing people? Oh, Barry.
And like how like they have this like the main fat. He just puts one drop of concentrated cyanide in there and just quickly mixes it in, and suddenly half of Chicago's dropping dead from cyanide poisoning.
I reached my high score.
What did it take, Barry? 1 drop of cyanide.
They kept drinking
Really
it.
concentrated.
They kept drinking it. It builds up in their body. They fucking die. I have
Who
many
would
new
you-
mats now.
Here's what I'm thinking for Barry if I statted him up in D&D. We're going to clearly put a very high number in intelligence, but his charisma and wisdom score
3.
are both at rock bottom 3.
Barely
This-
sentient. His strength is also a pitiful 6. As long as
Strength
his
and dex
dexterity-
are 6. Con is 20.
His constitution's 20.
This man. I just had a thought.
And one of his tag skills is craft alchemy.
I just had a thought. Barry versus Thanos. Who would be the more effective mass murderer?
I mean, Thanos.
Are you
just
saying?
snapped his
Wait.
fingers.
Question: Is this an even playing field? Do they both get Infinity Gauntlets?
Yes.
Then Barry.
Oh,
Barry.
Barry.
Barry just kills every. Just-
You
Barry
only
snaps his
killed
fingers.
50%. I'm
Barry
gonna
snaps his
kill
fingers.
100%.
No, Barry snaps his fingers, and then Thanos is like, "I don't feel too good."
He snaps his fingers, and instead of dissolving, Thanos becomes his new face.
No, better. No. The thing is, instead of just doing a snap where people, just die kind of painlessly but creepily. No, he has it so that their atoms, because he knows medicine
He
amazingly.
just fucking blows
He
them
has
up.
their organ. He has all their organs fail.
No, it's even worse than that. Remember Full Metal Alchemist, that crazed terrorist that can turn you into a living bomb?
Yes, that's what I
Oh
was
no,
exactly
something
thinking
better.
of Scar.
He turns their blood into explosive nitrogen.
Oh my gosh, dude, is he basically, Barry basically is the explosive alchemist from, he's the bomb alchemist from Full Metal Alchemist. Oh my god.
He can
No,
transmute your
he's-
blood into
He,
nitroglycerin.
he's like the trash can man from The Stand. Like a uneducated, crazy person who knows instinctually how to make bombs and how to make chemicals and how to find bombs and chemicals.
So we've made the ultimate horror character by mistake.
He was trying to create. I remember what his original intention was. He was either trying to be a high school teacher
He
or
was
a
trying
drug
to be.
dealer.
He was trying to be a chemist. By the way,
Yeah.
he actually almost got basketball player instead.
I am imagining
God
Barry
knows what
playing
he would have done
basketball.
with that. What would he
Okay.
do with it?
5 athletics.
No. He would have put 5. He would have put 5. He would have put a full 5 in dexterity to his strength, no stamina.
Just 1 in a stamina. He can only
So-
play for 5 minutes, but he'll beat the entire team.
After that, he needs numerous Gatorade bottles.
He just flops on the floor, twitching and seizing.
Just has fucking seizures. just has a stroke or a heart attack every time he's done playing. They just have to take the defibs out and just, zap him up. Get back in the game, Barry. Come on, we need you. The finals.
They keep him on the bench until the last 5 minutes.
As everybody knows, the only competitive part of any professional basketball game.
Oh, he would put all of his mental. He would just put it in like resolve probably.
Maybe
So he's
one in
dumb
wit.
as a
Maybe
brick.
one in wit.
He's just dumb as a brick. Just
And social, man, I don't fucking need that manipulation.
No. Composure. No, actually, no. Presence wouldn't because he's a superstar, right?
Oh yeah, so
he'd either be the least memorable superstar of all time, or he'd be the most attractive one of all time.
Skill.
Let's go for skills. Let's go for skills. He
5
would do.
athletics.
Definitely
5 brawl.
Definitely athletics. He would use the 7 in athletics and put athletics to max.
5 brawl.
5 brawl probably too, because why not?
No. Yeah. Oh, and then he'd
Last
put
point in weaponry.
no larceny because larceny.
Because he needs to steal the ball, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah, good point.
For social, he's just gonna put it all into either socialize,
Probably
streetwise,
socialize.
or subterfuge.
I would say
Subterfuge.
socialize and subterfuge.
Yes. Then for mental skills, it's just all in
Politics.
It's just all in politics. He's the most woke basketball player of all time.
No. Actually, that's pretty much it. 4. He's got 4 in politics.
He's just Kanye West, basically, but he plays basketball.
No,
instead.
something better. He puts the 4 in a cult.
Oh
that'd
my
be even
god!
better.
He just summons Cthulhu on the court.
He invokes Haster's name to prevent the other team from winning.
He sacrifices 3 of his teammates every year as a ritual blessing to the gods of basketball.
He uses his 5 brawl to knock them out when no one's looking.
He just strangles. Just terrible accident.
It's so sad. It's so sad that his head caved in when he got hit by that basketball.
It's so what an unfortunate
It's so
accident
sad that the entire enemy team, the entire opposing team, had their legs breaking just the same way.
No, oh my god, how did they all trip and fall and crack their necks at the same time?
We're the only team left in the league. We're the only team left, so we're champions.
Fucking Barry, I swear to God.
The berry infection is already beginning. It's completely taken over.
Okay.
It's completely taken over this episode.
And it really is. So
It has, but it's better than
I think this episode is can only be called one thing.
Barry.
The berry infection.
us all.
Barry.
Berry plus Sigmata Calvin Ball.
Oh God, it's 10 o'clock every night, y'all.
I'm gonna be honest. This was fun, and to you, and if the guy who made Barry, if you're listening to this, no, we love what you've done.
This is the greatest. This is unironically one of the greatest gifts you have given us.
Yep. And if Chad Walker,
Old Man Henderson.
Oh yeah, Chad Walker.
Right. Yeah, can I please speak?
This is technically the end of Sigmata, even though it's really more Barry.
Yeah.
It's the beginning of Barry, not the end of Stigmata. Let's be fair.
Chad, let me please talk? If you ever listen to this, you're a hack. You're a fucking hack.
Wow, you don't have to be
Next
that
week
rude.
we're gonna read about post-apocalyptic flower dick mutants, and it's still gonna be better than Sigmata.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.